Hey, Tauruses. Welcome, welcome. Hey, my name is Patty. For those of you that are brand new and actually just coming in, I have to apologize to Tauruses today. Today is the 19th, and I'm doing your reading for the 19th through the 25th. However, I need to share something. So I was doing your Taurus reading this morning, and I had the cards. I had the oracles laid out, I had the cards laid out, and then one of my clients for my leatherwork showed up early than she was supposed to. So I put it on pause, unfortunately, to try and see if that's who it was. It was, and I wasn't able to come back. So that is my deepest apology. I apologize. I am, however, if you were watching that video, I did take it down, but I'm starting right where we started. I'm going to just redo what we started with because these are today's energies. These, I don't want to change those. It's really, really important that we go by what the energies that were already given to us and go from there. All right, so bringing these energies back in and going from that point forward. So if you were watching that video earlier today, I deeply, deeply apologize. And we are just going to keep going like we did this morning and just start over. Okay, we're starting over with the cards that we had and moving on forward. All right. For those of you that are brand new, I am an intuitive tarot reader along with astrology and numerology. My name is Patty and I am an empath. I do have audio abilities and sensory abilities and things like that. So we're going to pull from the divine. That's why this morning I was saying we're going to pull from the divine first. That oracle is first. Oracle is the divines. Maybe you have a question. Maybe you're going through a struggle. Maybe you're going through whatever it is that you're just like trying to figure something out or someone out. So that's where that first card is. Second card is this week's card. And it was really important to me to finish this reading today because we're in those energies today. These are fresh, raw energies. So we want to make sure that they get completed. Don't ever want to leave things unended. So that second card is going to be the current energy from the 19th through the 25th. Now, that future energy, this oracle that I'm going to be showing you, is the future energy. This is the energy for the next 2 to 3 months. What? Usually you say it's like the weekend and next week. No, this is the energy that you will see why it's going to be, because it's a process and it takes time. Okay, and that's with every Taurus probably reading for the next couple of months. You're probably going to see something with more process, that kind of a thing. All right. The only other thing I have to share with you, we are going towards a full moon on the 26th. So this reading's till the 25th. So we'll already have figured into about 3 days of the full moon energy. So towards the end of the week, I would say Friday, Saturday, Sunday, things might feel a little bit weird because we are moving into a super full moon. Lots of energies. I will be doing, excuse me, I just had something I shouldn't have, McDonald's. I probably shouldn't have shown that. Anyway, we're going to be moving into that full moon. Lots of energies. I will be doing a reading on the 26th for that full moon energy. For those of you that are new, how it works is I come in and I tell you all the energies, what the planets are doing. Some of them are retrograding. We got a lot of planets starting to waterfall or retrograde. I talk a little bit about the energies, how it's going to affect you and the things and the people around you, and to watch for those until the next new moon. And then I go into a reading, a general reading for everybody. It is an open chat, so you will be able to ask questions. If it's not related to what we're talking to, then it will go towards the end and I will answer it at the end. Not a problem. I love having interaction from you guys. I really, really do. And I thank you for all your emails and your comments. I love it. So let's get started. And don't forget, the only way that you probably will know that I'm doing that online full moon reading is if you subscribe, hit the bell, then you'll be notified. Because I'm probably not going to put a thumbnail up until probably the 24th at least because of my knee. So I'm had a knee replacement. I'm still playing around with PT with that, and also self energies, trying to heal my knee itself. All right, so let's get started. So as we said earlier today, these cards were already pulled, so I'm going to keep going with that current energy, and I apologize for the interruption this morning. So our first card of the divine was the cat, okay? And we started talking about independence and healthy boundaries. This is something that not only the divine is sharing with you, but it is also about what the planets are sharing. Okay. And this is something that you really need to pay attention to, what your healthy boundaries are, because it's from where you start with your spirit, where you go to your mind, and your mind, you go to your body. Do you know that's how things really work? However, if you are living in first dimension, which is the world where you can see, touch, and that's what you don't believe it unless you see it. That is the world, and then you're backwards because you're thinking with your head, you go to your spirit, and then your body talks. And sometimes you don't even get to go to the spirit because you blurred out stuff that you probably shouldn't even blurt out. So anyway, this is where these healthy boundaries come in. Are you too independent? Or are you codependent? Are you a helicopter mom? Are you a helicopter dad? These kind of things, if we are a helicopter, and what that means is that you're a parent that just sits over your child and doesn't let them do anything, doesn't let them get hurt, doesn't let them make the mistakes that they need to make to learn how to grow and make their own decisions, that actually hinders their growth and their independence. So that is something that I was really faulty of that in the very beginning of early childhood for my daughter, because I didn't want her to get hurt. She was my only child. I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want her to, let me do it, let me do it, let me do it, let me do it. And then before you know it, she was more dependent on me than she should have been. So over time, we stopped that so that she could learn how to become independent. Okay. And that's a healthy boundary. So think about this. Are you too independent? Are you over independent? Are you codependent on somebody to help you out? Okay. Divine energies. We need to work on that. It is also the number 9. As we know in numerology, 9 is about intensity. 9 is also about how focused, how direct, how strong you are in learning and really focused in on what you need to do. The number 9 for the cat is learning how not to be super independent, how to be too independent, and then where those healthy boundaries are. All right. Because your second card, which is this current energy right now, is the hawk. And the hawk is these two energies coming together because the hawk is about messages. So are you paying attention to the red flags? Are you paying attention to the signals? People ask me all the time, why do I see 111, 222, 333? Are you paying attention to these? Do you know what they mean? If you don't, you should ask somebody or Google it and see, because there's a million things that you can see for even just the 111, 222, 333. Just depends on what page you get it from. But the thing is, there is a message in here for you. And that message is for the numerology number 2 is to bring things together, to bring things in balance, or to not only bring them in balance, but if you don't do that and pay attention, it breaks it apart. The number 2 is like a two-sided sword. Okay. Two. If you look at the swords, I don't have a sword. Oh yeah, I do. If you look at the Justice card, the sword, it's a double-edged sword. So double-edged sword could be all about truth and bringing things together, or it could be about truth and separating. So you can Ginsu knife, separate it in half. So which is it? But there is some message, there is some omens in here, and these messages are coming in, or you're not paying attention to them to see what's going to happen for your future energy. This is your future energy, guys. This is the butterfly. And the butterfly, what is the butterfly all about? We all know about the butterfly, and the butterfly transforms into this beautiful, beautiful bug. But it is very, very beautiful. The thing about the butterfly, though, is you have to look at the stages. Remember, this is about a process. This is about a stage. This is about things that are happening. This is about the number, 7? Yeah, number 7. Okay, and that's about your potential ambition. So when you use your tools and your gifts and your talents and the things that are burning inside you to be used or utilized or come out, that's your soul, that's your character, that's everything there for you. That's your ambition. That's your potential. That's your purpose and your calling. Now, these two things here, healthy boundaries and messages that you get, is the destiny to get to your purpose and your calling. Well, what do you mean by that, Patty? I keep seeing something flying around. I know I got a bug in here, but This has been weird today. So the thing is that we have to look at the destiny, because that's the people, the places, and the things that are happening to get to the purpose and the calling of what you're supposed to do. Now, my question to you guys is, are you doing your purpose and calling? Even if you're not doing it as your job, are you doing it somewhere in your life? Because a lot of the times our purpose and our calling, we don't even realize what it is. I'll give you an example. I loved horses all my life. Okay. And in high school, I did leather work. I made a belt, I made a purse, whatever. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Okay. Not a problem. Go on to college, do your thing. But something about leather and artwork, I just love the feel of it. I love to do it, right? Nothing happened until I had a horse, and I kept having horses, and then I had to repair my own equipment, that kind of a stuff. I didn't even do anything about it. I went and lived in Japan, lived a life, came home, had a kid. Then I thought, you know what? My husband said to me one day, I said, I needed some extra money. I got to do something for some extra money. And he says, why don't you, find a hobby that you can make money from? Boom, leather. So that summer, I decided not to create or make things, but I began by buy and sell tack on eBay. That was when eBay was new. And then some of that stuff I would buy needed to be repaired. Then I would repair it and sell it step by step. Then what happened after that? I got offered to buy a business, and then I did more and more leather work. And then before you know it, it became my job. And that's what I've been doing for 17 to 20 years, almost 20 years. So do you see how your destiny happens? It happens little bit by little bit. And a lot of the times, these are the messages that some people miss. This is your current energy, guys. So this is where sometimes people miss their calling or their message, because you got to be in the right mindset to know that these are messages that are coming for you, for your transformation and growth, for your potential, for your purpose and your calling. All right? Because a lot of the times your first card out was the World, and you get stuck. Now, if you look at the new moon energies that are coming into the full moon, okay, so the new moon energies are done pretty much. They'll be gone bye-bye by, the 23rd or such, because probably even a little bit before that. But the new moon energy was about being a rut. So if you haven't watched the new moon video, you might go back and watch that before the full moon, because you'll see how the patterns go for this month. But a lot of the times we're in a rut. Well, if you look at the world, there's a lot of beautifulness in the world. You can either have something be at a completion with that circle, or you could be stuck in a rut with the circle. So which are you? So are you stuck in a rut? Now that rut could be a good thing. Maybe you're on what do they call it? A good luck streak. I don't believe in luck, but if you're on a good luck streak and things are really, really going good, no, the vibrations are really high. So when things are going good, we put off of different energies, different auras, different types of chemicals in our body. So then those keep going up and up and up. So things keep happening in a good. But as soon as something happens, then it's just like, oh crap, my good luck's all gone now. So your mindset begins to change, and then your chemicals and your auras and all that kind of stuff change. So the idea though is not to get stuck in the rut. Okay. And again, that's about healthy boundaries. That's about things that you want to keep growing that are positive in your life. And the only way to look at this is the second card is the Four of Cups in reverse. Okay, so the Four of Cups in reverse, if you were to put the Four of Cups, which one is it? If you were to put the Four of Cups here, somebody would be really contemplating, really a little bit depressed, not sure what's going on, not figuring it out, but it came in reverse. And the World was the first card. So somebody's really not paying too much attention to really being in that rut. Maybe they don't care. Maybe this is something that thank you. So they're so used to. It's a pattern that you're so used to that you're just going to be stuck in that, right? So this is something that maybe somebody needs to step up to the plate, because the World, if you look at the person in the center, in this case, it's a female. She is holding 2 wands. Now, the wands and the staffs, especially if you look in the biblical stuff, it is about a connection to the divine. This is their telephone kind of a thing. This is how you can speak to. Staff has a lot of power, has a lot of energy, things like that. And then also too, we have the idea of actually connecting to the divine to ask our questions. Okay, so this is the divine's card. This is, if you want to call it divine, sacred one, Holy Spirit, Holy Ghost, God, Allah, Yahweh, whatever you want to call it. This is the divine's card. So whatever you've been asking, whatever you've been trying to find, whatever you've been trying to ask for guidance, wisdom, or whatever, this is it. It's to stop a cycle. Okay, so that cycle. So this is where somebody actually needs time to think about this. The other thing too is you had your third card out. This is going to take courage and time. Well, actually strength. Courage comes from strength. And to have courage is to face a fear. So whatever that fear is that's coming through, it is going to take courage. It is going to take time and practice, because the thing is, this is the butterfly. This is our future energy for months, a couple months. So this is a transformation process. And it is a process of becoming independent from fear. For some of you, I don't know who that's for. Thank you. So they're sharing that this is a process to have courage to face your fears. And then you become independent. As I said this early this morning when I started this, is that where's the devil? Because fear keeps us bound, and the devil loves that. The devil card loves that, to keep us bound. But if you have courage enough to face your fears, this creates independence here on earth. However, there's a double-edged sword here. It creates dependence on the unseen, which is divine, which he wants, because he's the one in control. Well, everybody makes their own. We have free choice. So you can either listen to the guidance he gives you, or you can actually poo-poo it and throw it in the toilet, and then you can make life hard for you. Your choice. I've done both. Guess which one I'm on? I'm on the one that's easy and smooth and calm and peaceful. That's the one that I listen to him. And it's a lot more joyful. Because this does take communication. So we have the Queen of Wands. She is the queen of communication. Queen. Okay. And so also too, she is the queen of the desires for your soul. She can communicate from your soul, because your soul is your personality, right? This is who you are. This is the difference. Like we say, no two people are alike. That's correct, because your soul is never going to be like somebody else's soul, no matter if you guys have the exact same life, exact same things that you love, exact same things that you hate. They're never going to be the same, because we are our own unique individual. But this is going to take communication. Again, this has to do with creating the healthy boundaries. Facing a fear is creating a healthy boundary. Somebody's fear has to do with something in the justice system. So if you have some past that's sort of hanging out there, keeping you in that rut from that new moon energy, maybe you have a parking ticket that you never paid. Maybe you got a speeding ticket that you blew off. Maybe you got arrested and you never took care of that. Gee. But maybe this is something that's hanging and looming on you, whatever it is. Maybe there was something that you were supposed to. It doesn't have to be legal. This could be something that you just didn't finish. So what is it that you didn't finish that has to do with paper? Did you need to take a test and you just didn't show up? Did you need to take a test of some sorts and you just said, no, I'm too fearful, I can't do that? Is this a test that this is a message for somebody? These energies, because your current energy is message and an omen. This is to release and go back to that, correct it, so that this rut can stop. You can complete it and let that rut stop, so that you can move forward and then be able to grow from that. Okay? And transform. I'll tell you what, from experience, I don't ever share with you guys something that I did not live. as far as if I tell you a story or an experience or whatever like that, I don't ever tell you something that isn't of truth. Sadly, my daughter wants me to write a book because I've been through so much. And I have started it, but I just get lost in it because my life, it has so much. I don't know what she wants me to get into. But here's the thing. I went back and corrected. I was horrible when I was younger. I would say even in my 30s and 40s. So when doing business, I did things I should have never ever done. I took people's money when I should have never ever taken it. I even took a friend's money that wanted to help me, but I have figured out how to manipulate to get that money because I was so good at lying and being a manipulative that I needed to do it. Now, did I really want to? No, I was a single mom, broke. I didn't know what to do, didn't know how to do it, I was ignorant back then. So, but the thing is, for me in my spiritual life and growth and walk now, I've told myself I have to go right my wrongs. I need to go back. And I had over the years, I made a list of the people that I took money or borrowed money or whatever and never paid back. I went through that list and I started paying them off one by one by one. And it does take courage to go back to somebody and say, I'm really sorry that I abused your friendship. I'm really sorry that you trusted me and I didn't come through the way that you expected. And I'm really sorry that you trusted me and I failed. I didn't fail. I actually let them down. I failed myself in a sense that I didn't follow through with what I was supposed to. However, I knew that going into doing that and paying them back. Now, paper, what did I say? It could do paper. It could be money paper. Maybe you need to pay somebody back that you borrowed money from. Or maybe you had a business adventure and whatever it is. I don't know what it is. However, money is paper. So I did pay those people back. And each one I started to pay back, I thought to myself, they're going to hate me. They're never going to want to talk about it to me again. And one elder man who was in his 80s, I actually owed him $500. And he lives very close by me. I love this man with all my heart. I felt so bad when I did that. Okay, I felt horribly crushed that I did that to him because he trusted me so much. But it took me a year and a half to try to build up money again, and I had the money. And at Christmas time, he was a cowboy, so I took some of his pictures that we had. I put them in a beautiful, what do you call it, a shadow box, and I put a Christmas card on it. I put it in there, and I put the money on, and I went and I put them on his doorstep. And he didn't have my number or anything anymore at that time, but that wasn't the point. I didn't need to talk to him again, because I felt like I did my full circle. But the next morning, I got a phone call very early from him. And his son had found my phone number somewhere Googling it because I'm a leathersmith and that's what I do. And he said that he didn't care about the money. It wasn't the money at all. Is that thank you for doing this full circle, paying him back because, and the gentleman was in tears. He says, because you just restored my faith in humanity. And this man is a man of God, like no tomorrow, but something has been happening to him over and over that he lost his faith in humanity. And I was able to come full circle at that time. So whenever you come full circle and you get your healthy boundaries and you do something and you change it and you turn it around, not only do you release those negative energies, you also release those low vibrations, you release bondage, and you begin to really, you have no idea how fast, I'm getting goosebumps for somebody, you don't know how fast your energies are going to change and lift you up. I've done this now with 3-4 people, and I'm just about done with 2 more people to go, because these weren't small amounts of money, but these were things that they were trying to help me, and I lost it. So this takes courage to go, because I do not know how they're going to respond. But I will tell you through experience, if this is you and this is your fear, that you need to face the fear, because the response from every single person was open arms. And you know what? We became better friends because of it. We became closer because of it. And this, my friends, is the future transformation for somebody listening. I don't know who this is for, but it is for somebody listening, because the divine wouldn't have me go off, tell this whole story for no reason. So Independence. When you are bound to something of a negative energy, you will not stop this cycle. This cycle wants to be completed. Okay, it takes energy, it takes moving, it takes communication to break that. Okay, so I don't know who that's for, but this is going to come to you if you face your fear. And you are going to be surprised that your fear, actually, yeah, definitely. Look at this. It is going to change your world upside down. These are the planet's energies that are coming in too, guys. This is the tower. It's going to turn your world 180 degrees for the better. For the better, because not only then you release your debt. When you release your debt, you're no longer bound. You also release that negative energy of always inside feeling like, man, I should have never did that. I shouldn't have done that. That guilt, you're going to release the guilt. You're going to release all this negative energy, and it releases stress from your body. So you start with your spirit, you go to your head, and then your body reacts. Okay. If you go from your head, you're going to say, I'm never going to pay them back. They never asked me for it back, so I'm never going to pay for it back. You stay in bondage. You stay in debt. And those energies are going to stay right there, pooling around you and keep you in that rut, just like the new moon. Okay. So that's huge. I don't know who that's for. Okay. So, and you know what, Taurus, though, I am going to go a little bit longer because I felt really bad this morning when I started this and had to stop. I was really interrupted, but so I'm just going to keep going on this. So if there is anybody out there that has any questions or energies that they want to share, or any testimonies, maybe somebody has a testimony that they've gone through this and they understand this whole concept here that the divine is trying to show. So it is hard work, but you know what? The Eight of Pentacles, it is hard work. But look at his pentacles. They're getting all in line. They're getting all in a row. He's taking care of each one by one, one by one. He isn't doing them all at once. He's working on them one by one, whatever that is in your life. Again, yes, and death. It's going to end it. It's going to end this cycle. It's going to end this. Because here's the thing. You're talking about King of Swords, truth. You're walking in truth then. You're releasing bondage. You're releasing negative energy. You're releasing being bound to earthly things. Then you can fly. Okay? It is not easy work, I'll tell you right now. Do you think that when I went to my first person that I owed that money to and wanted to pay him back, do you think I was like, oh, wow, I'm just going to go pay him back here. Okay, bye. No, I was scared crapless because I did wrong. But I had to own it. I had to be responsible. That's a healthy boundary. That's saying I admit I screwed up. You can forgive me. You don't have to, but I have to fix this for me. Do you think, and not one of those people took the money back? It wasn't really about the money. It was about the integrity of what I was at that time in my character. All right? Yeah. So somebody has a friend that they did this to. Or somebody did this to a friend. Let's see. How did I say that? You did this to a friend, or a friend did this to you. Now, what you can do with divine, if somebody did that to you, then you keep asking the divine to show them the way, to release them from that bondage, because they're thinking about it. I'll tell you right now, they will think about it. They didn't forget about it. All right. So what healthy boundary do you need to be released from? Negative boundary, boundary that you need to actually make more healthy? What is that? Does that make sense? All right, Tauruses. Okay, now I don't like that deck. That deck is worn out. Poor deck had to sit there all day. Okay. All right. So I hope everybody is good. Are you guys ready? This is the 19th. This is actually energies that you are going into as we speak. These are awesome energies. I'm excited for this super, super full moon. Again, for those showing up late, I will be doing a full moon reading on the 26th, but I won't know what time yet. So hit the subscription bell or subscribe, hit the bell, and you'll know when I'm on, just because my knee. I just don't know how it's going to handle that day. So we'll see how it heals, his healing. It did good in physical therapy today. Yes, it did good. All right, so we have the 5 of Cups. And we have the 3 of Cups. And we have, oh, wow, but they're not in that order. They're 5, 3, and 4. Okay, so 12, 3. So all 3 of these cards are cups. So that equals the number 8. Okay, 5, 3, and 4. No, wait a minute. 8, 9, 10, 12. So it equals, yeah, it equals the number 3. Excuse me. I've got 5 and 3 is 8, and then 12, and which ends up being 3. So this is acknowledging these are matters of the heart. These are matters of your character. These are matters of your soul. These are things that are stirring in the pot that needs to be rectified. Okay, so, but we have, and these are all hearts. Hearts. Excuse me, cups, but I relate those to hearts because it does deal with your heart. So we have the 5 of Cups, 3 of Cups. Now the 5 of Cups, okay, and then the 3 of Cups, this is celebration. This is the 3 of Cups. This is celebration. And the 4 of Cups, again, but now we have the 4 of Cups in the upright. Now here's the thing. It went from reverse when you're not paying attention to the signs. Now you're paying attention to them. So yeah, they're going to feel uncomfortable. The 4 of Cups is about uncomfortable, maybe a little bit of anxiety. Should I do this? Should I not do this? Let me ask you the right thing. When you start feeling like, okay, this is not comfortable, she triggered something. I really don't want to be thinking about this. I really don't want to do this. But in your heart of hearts, is it something that it feels that you should do that feels right? Because the divine is the one that's bringing all this up, because he knows your integrity. He knows what you've done in the past doesn't matter, but what you do about it now does. Does that make sense? So it is going to bring up a little bit of turmoil. It's going to bring up a little bit of struggle within you. However, the celebration is that you follow through with creating that healthy boundary, healthy that independence, the independence being breaking your bondage from something you didn't do or you did do that wasn't nice, and you correct it. That's all. Okay, so that's pretty much your message there. All right, so let's go to the full moon and the planets. Okay, full moon and planets. So somebody's got a lot here. And you know what really is courage? I really commend anybody who tries to even stand up to that fear. It's sort of like the more that you face it, it is so flippin' scary. The first time I went and paid somebody back, I was shaking in my boots because I just didn't want to get yelled at, cussed at. But you know what? I knew in my heart, I have to accept if that's what they do, because I'm the one that did wrong, and that's their feelings coming out of disappointment. So the thing is, yeah, I was scared at first, but the more I did it, the better I felt. I was like, yes, and even if they didn't accept me, yes, I did this, and I'm making things right, and I'm making them feel better. I'm making their vibrations go up, and my vibrations go up. Just like the elder man saying, thank you for giving me hope in humanity again. I didn't know that little gesture of paying him back would do that. So I don't know what his journey is. I don't know what that was. But that message for me that time was huge. And that message for him was huge. All right. And the only way to do that, to end that cycle, is to put it to bury it. Get it done, bury it, and let it go, and never go back there again. And I've never gone back there again. I have never, ever, when I turned my life completely around spiritually, and I actually came out and told people about my spiritual side, I'm bound. I love it. It's very free. I feel literally like these two. I can fly. I can fly. Yeah. All right, so let's see what the moon and the stars and the planets got going. All right, don't forget to like any of the videos from your YouTube creators that you watch. That's really big for us YouTube creators, especially for YouTube to show them more to the public. Something, I don't know what they do with their analysis on the likes, but it actually is a huge, huge thing for YouTube. So the more likes that your videos have, the more they lift them up and put them out into outer space or whatever they do with them. And then share. If this does not resonate with you, that's okay. However, maybe you've got somebody's name popped in. Oh yeah, this sounds like so and so. Share this with them. You know, say, hey, you know, I was listening to this crazy boomer. Anyway, but do share it with them. Okay. All right. So, oh wow, yeah. So the future energies. See, this is why I say really, if a tarot reader is going to read, you should be able to do some astrology with it. I'm not poo-pooing anybody, but astrology and divine, they're like their energies they're intertwined. Let me put it that way. They're completely intertwined. Okay. So because we have the planet and the full moon energy coming up, we need to pay attention to the details. This is the number 7. Okay. And the number 7 definitely, again, is about your potential and your ambition, but you got to listen to the details, and the details are about yourself. So again, somebody's not listening to the red flags, so that's creating the problem. Okay, so we do need to pay attention to that. Listen to the details of you. Imagine yourself being that caterpillar, and then you go into the cocoon, and then you go into the butterfly stage. Okay, you have to pay attention to each stage that is happening. It can't skip a stage. It can't go from caterpillar to butterfly. There's no way. So the thing is, it has to grow. It has to change. And that's what it's doing in that cocoon. You can't see it, just like the seed in the ground that we just planted for the garden. We cannot see it, but we know something's going on. So it's growing, and then suddenly you see a sprout. Well, in a cocoon, now suddenly it breaks out and you see a butterfly. Okay, but that takes time. That definitely takes time, and that also takes strength, power, strength from inside. Okay, so you got to pay attention to the details. Again, that's the number 8. Number 8 is about the process. Okay, I can't make this stuff up. This is the planets sharing the same energies that the divine has. And then what do? You ride the wave. Again, that's the number 8. You ride the wave and you see what the outcome does. Just like when I paid those people off, I was like, okay, are you going to get mad at me? You're going to yell at me? You're going to cuss me? You're going to tell me to leave and never see me again? What are you going to tell me? Are you going to? And then you ride the wave and you see what the outcome is. You sit back and watch. You don't jump in. You just sit back and say, okay, what do I got coming? And before I knew it, it was just like a warm embrace, a hug. It's like, thank you. I'm so happy. I've missed you. Things I never expected. So ride the wave at the end. This is the butterfly. This is when the butterfly shines. Now, this whole process, this is a process. This is a message to you, not to me, because I'm not a Taurus, for one. But 2, this is Taurus's message for this week. Also, you might be seeing other messages. You might be hearing something, bringing an aha moment, a trigger, whatever it is, and it may bring it to you, and you're like, oh, wow, this is what she was talking about. Oh, wow, that's what the new moon was saying. Oh, that was what the full moon was saying. But again, this is not for me. But this is about change. And this is about breaking the rut, breaking the cycle, and completing, so that you can have literally everything. And then you can fly like her. I want to fly. Don't you guys want to fly? I would love to fly. But anyway, I don't want to be a fly, but I want to. All right. So that is your reading, Taurus. Again, I do apologize for this morning for getting started and then having to be interrupted. But we started right where we left off because the energies needed to stay current. And I hope this was helpful to you. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. And again, on the 26th for the full moon reading, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell. I'm not sure if I'm going to be posting a thumbnail at least until probably the 24th. So don't forget to share this. And I do say go back and look at the new moon video, because you're going to see some patterns even within this that are going to help you get to that full moon. So if you haven't watched the new moon, that even though those energies are now coming down and winding down, those full moon energies are coming, and be ready because this is going to be an interesting full moon. And that's on the 26th. So we will see you on the 26th at the full moon reading or at your next reading for the 26th. All right. Take care, guys.